Hello and welcome to One North Main, Brockton's magazine show where we profile people, places, and events that make this city, our city, great. I'm your host, Jay Miller, and today's focus is, how do you improve a city? We're going to focus on 3 special events that recently happened in our city. Some small, like the Council on Aging behind me, planting a tree for Arbor Day. Some events a little bit bigger. The Mayor's Youth Summit held at Brockton High School, an annual event where kids made their recommendation on how to improve the City of Champions. And then some on a grand scale, like Keep Brockton Beautiful Day, a citywide initiative where we clean up our streets and parks. All events were fantastic, and we were there for all the action. So I want you to sit back, I want you to relax, and I want you to see what our community, the City of Champions, has to offer.
Did she make the shirts or did you?
We made them together. Chocolate. Gotta love it.
Hello and welcome to One North Main.
My favorite place in all of our fair city, the Council on Aging. It's lush with green, and behind me is a tree. Now, you might not think much of it. Oh, it's just a simple tree. But one tree leads to another, and it just beautifies the entire city. This tree was put up on Arbor Day. Now, because we're local, we say Arbor. Why do I mention that? Well, all I can tell you is, check this out.
Oh yeah, I love the city of Brockton and I love covering events, but today is the day. Arbor Day is happening at the Council on Aging. For those of you that don't know, ABBA is a band. They were very popular in the mid to late 70s into the early 80s. Recently they announced they're releasing 2 new songs too. You may have heard of Dancing Queen, Fernando, Knowing Me, Knowing You, a list, Mamma Mia, a great musical, and yes, I'm a closet ABBA fan. So it is ABBA Day at the Council on Aging, and we're heading there right now, and let me tell you, I am fired up. Whew, here, Council on Aging, ABBA. I mean, it is raining a little bit, but I don't see much action. I'll go to the front. Maybe they're inside. Man, I hope and get an autograph. Well, the parking lot's packed, but it's always packed at the COA. I don't feel any excitement. I don't see any kind of activity. I guess I'm gonna have to go inside, but man, what kind of ABBA Day is this? Uh-oh, we got a problem. I'm gonna have to talk to Janice. It says Happy Arbor Day, and there's a tree on it. I don't see any sign of the band. Hopefully nobody's seen this cake yet. Brother. Hey Janice, thank you so much for inviting me to ABBA Day. There is a bit of a problem though. I want to show you something, and I hope it's not too late.
Happy ABBA Day.
You say ABBA, I say ABBA. Whatever works. Happy ABBA Day to you too, ladies. Hey Michelle, happy ABBA Day.
I thought it was ABBA Day.
You say ABBA. Actually, I say ABBA. You say ABBA. She says tomato. He says tomato. Let's call the whole thing off. We have a problem with the cake. It says. I don't want to tell anybody, but it says Arbor Day on it, and it has a picture of a tree. I don't know where Benny or Annie or any of the other group, Bjorn. I don't know where they are.
Jay, it's Arbor Day. It is Arbor Day. When you plant a tree, That's what Arbor Day is. It's not ABBA the band. Are you okay?
Want me to water that now, guys? Buds on. Sweet. What's your face?
These fine people from the DCR, Massachusetts, are putting in a hawthorn tree for the Council on Aging, beautify this already beautiful space. They do have a couple of trees in and around the property, and this will just enhance what is already here.
We thought this year it would be great to come down to the Council on Aging and plant a tree here. This entire section of the city, right here where the COA is located, and it starts roughly just north of us here all the way down through Campello. If you live or own property or have a business in this section of the city, you can sign up for a free tree. And they'll actually come out just as they've done with this tree. They'll help you select the best type of tree for your location, and they'll actually come out at no cost to you and plant a tree for you. And all you agree to do is to take care of it in the future. And this is a grant program that we were able to become part of with the Commonwealth. And we started last year and planted over 500 trees in the city last year. The goal for this year is to plant 800. And then we'll go on and plant hopefully a similar number next year. By the time we're done at the end of 3 years, we should have planted over 2,000 trees in this portion of the city.
We're planting a Winter King hawthorn today, and it's one of the trees that we have available to you all who are within the area that we're planting in Brockton. This Winter King hawthorn, it's a flowering tree, and it has some red berries which are good for birds. Birds really like the berries in the winter, and it's a beautiful tree. We have over 40 species, and you know, you can have one flowering tree, and you can have as many large shade trees as will fit in your property comfortably. If you're interested, we've been handing out information throughout the city. You might see it on your doorstep, you might see it in your mailbox, but feel free to call the number. Just leave your name and your phone number, and either me or Matt Dyer, the other forester, will get back to you, and we can set up a site visit and we'll hopefully get you some nice trees.
Now therefore be it resolved, I, Bill Carpenter, as the mayor of the city of Brockton, do hereby proclaim today, April 27th, as Arbor Day, and urge all residents of the city of Brockton to celebrate this day. And because so much we appreciate the Council on Aging being the site of this year's Arbor Day celebration, I'd like to present this proclamation to the director, Janice Fitzgerald. Here you go, Janice.
Beautiful. Let's keep Brockton beautiful. Every year, there's a special event. It's called Keep Brockton Beautiful Day. You all know about it. It's when the community comes together to clean up our fair city. 2018, what a year. We had city councilors, we had community activists, and we had Joe Q. Citizen come out and clean it up. It was a thing of beauty, and I want you to check it out.
Brockton, a little over a year ago, became officially certified as a green community, and that this is just one piece of a very large effort for the city of Brockton to truly be a green community and reduce our carbon footprint and to help the environment, not hurt it. The weather's been pretty bad all spring. Thank goodness we caught some good weather for Keep Brockton. Beautiful day today. I think this is going to be one of our largest turnouts. We've had a steady stream of volunteers picking up their supplies all morning. I mean, this is a true grassroots community effort. Volunteers spread out across the entire city, helping us clean the city. And this is how public-private partnership works. The city's here in our role to support the event, provide the tools and the equipment, and to pick up the bags of trash afterwards. But what makes this a great day for the city is the fact that this is city residents, city volunteers combing out across the city so that Brockton will look much nicer tomorrow than it does today.
We're here right on the Howard Street Bridge, and we're doing a community cleanup with Keep Brockton Beautiful Day. I try to do it every year since I was on the city council. As I remember, Tom Brophy started it, who had been a city councilor, and so I wanted to support him, and I love the environment.
People complain about how the city looks, so group has got together, Councilor Miller, Mayor Units, myself, and we put this together, and with the help of Mike Thorson, Pat Sullivan, getting DPW involved. That started in 2005, and we've been going strong ever since. And today we're lucky we have a beautiful day. We've had a couple of bad days, but today it's a good day with all the bad weather we've had for people to come out and make a difference.
How's it going? Not bad, yourself? Can't complain. It's a lot warmer than it was 2 hours ago. Yeah. Funny, two geese, just one, right down here. Quite the full bag there.
Huh?
Quite the full bag there.
Yeah. What a mess.
I grew up on Andover Street, which is right off of Winter Street here, and I live right around here. So for me, this area is kind of a gateway to the Brookfield, Ashfield, Lithuanian Village area. And a lot of people come in from out of town, right on Howard Street right there. And we call it the muck, but it's quite a beautiful environmental cleaning area, this marsh over here. So making sure that that stays clean, and it seems to be like a litter spot. So it's good that we're gonna be here cleaning this area up. It'd be wonderful if we had enough volunteers that there would be, 20 or 50 different hot spots, because there are so many areas in the city that could use some sprucing up. But hopefully this will be an example for, all you guys out there, that you should just grab a bag and go out in front of your house and clean it up. And I mean, I don't have to tell you that. I know that there are tons of people that take great pride in living here in the City of Champions, and they're out there cleaning up almost on a daily basis, and we all appreciate that.
We're working. He's videoing, so when he's videoing, you can't stand still. Get over here, get over here, get over here.
It's an easy way to meet people and also to clean up and not feel like you have to talk. I love talking, but not everybody does. And you're doing something great because we live here. And Brockton may not be rich financially, but we're definitely rich in the quality of people that choose to live here and raise their families here. I'm honored to be a state representative from Brockton, and every day up at the State House I make sure everybody knows how wonderful of a city this is.
This has been one of our priorities in our administration is how the city looks and getting the city cleaner, and that's been from efforts like establishing the city's first anti-graffiti task force. We're out 4 days a week across the city removing graffiti, and we've eliminated about 90% of the graffiti across the city. To all of our other efforts, increasing funding and resources for the refuse department, and efforts every day, even working with the trial court system. So We do believe that the image of the city is critical to us. We're always looking to improve and change that perception of the city. And so as people drive through the city, we need the city to look good, and I want the city to be a city that residents want to live in. We want to have neighborhoods that people are proud of, and that neighborhoods where families want to move in and raise their children. And a big part of that is keeping the city picked up and clean.
The way the new trash receptacles work and the way they tie into Earth Day is the lid. The lid keeps things from blowing around. It keeps the little old toters that we used to use where the papers blew out on windy days. A lot of what's being picked up today probably blew out of some of those containers. So we're going to put a stop to that.
It's important to me because it brings community together. You get to spend time with volunteers in the city, your neighbors. We have groups. We actually just got a group from Springfield that drove all the way over to help keep Brockton beautiful. So that makes me proud. It gives pride in our city, and we want to keep Brockton beautiful.
Brockton youth, again, made their voices be heard at the annual Mayor's Youth Summit. This event goes back a number of mayors, and it gets better with age. Each year, students from Brockton High School get together. They lay out plans on how to improve their city and then bring that information not only back to the mayor, but the superintendent of schools. 2018 was no different. It was an awesome event. Let's check it out.
Hi, my name is Mara Mello, and I'm a school adjustment counselor at South Middle School in Brockton, and I am the coordinator for the Mayor's Youth Council. And the Youth Council has been hard at work all year working on the summit. So the council is 20 students from the high school and various middle schools, and we meet every Monday at the Brockton Public Library, and we discuss various issues that are facing the youth of Brockton. And we have been working hard on the summit, and we have the theme of our summit is See Something, Say Something. And we have a variety of workshops here for all of the youth, and we're trying to address the issue of, seeing issues, seeing your friends struggle with problems, and knowing how to handle it, whether it be to address it directly with them or to take it to a parent or someone here at school. We're really trying to arm the youth with positive things that they can do and say for their friends who might be struggling.
Substance abuse is when you use alcohol and drugs. So do people know people who use alcohol and drugs?
Yeah.
No. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. No?
Yeah.
Okay. Some people do. Yep. A lot of us know people who use alcohol and drugs. Okay? And addiction is when it becomes a problem. Okay? When we're using alcohol and drugs so much that we can't control it anymore. Do any of you know anyone who uses alcohol and drugs so much that they can't control it anymore?
Yeah.
It makes their lives out of control,
Yeah.
where they can't do things in their normal days. Maybe they can't go to work, they have difficulty going to work or going to school. And people are dying every day because of overdoses and heroin problems. Okay, so that's what this movie was about. And just how difficult it is for people, and how you can all be good friends and family members if someone's having difficulty, by reaching out to them and just saying, I'm here for you, and if you need help, there are resources out there.
really does come down to that, and that's really what this is for. You know, to teach you what signs to look out for and really get you thinking about what you should do because of that. And at the end of the day, it does come down to that person's choice of whether or not they want to change. And if you've done, you know, everything you as a person decided that you could do, cut that friendship. See if it changes them. See if it. I know a teacher that, you know, they got a phone call one day and they were like, "I'm not your friend anymore," and they explained, you know, like, you're a terrible person, because that's what drugs turned him into. And so after that, it was a wake-up call for him, and he ended up changing. So a lot of people will change in different ways, but it is, at the end of the day, it is that person's choice. And so this is really to get you thinking about, like, okay, so, you know, and some people might not even know of a lot of these signs. So if I see this happening in this person, you know, maybe something's wrong, So yeah, this is really to get you thinking about what you should do, what actions you should take, and it's some.
And another thing to think about is who is really in control of the situation. I was taught this like a few years ago on a trek, you know, and it's called the circles of control. Oh wait, is this big enough? Can you guys in the back see? Okay. And so there are 3 layers. So the outside layer are things that you have no control of whatsoever. Okay, so strangers. Crime. Anything else? Yeah. Feelings. Yeah? That's a good one.
Guess other people's actions.
Okay. So the second layer are things that you have influence over. So what are things you can influence but not necessarily control?
Younger ones.
Say that again?
Younger ones, like people younger than you.
Oh, you. Okay. Anything? Yes? Friends?
Somebody said
Relationship?
relationship.
Other people's opinions.
You have complete control over
Yourself.
Yes. Now, or yeah. Yes.
That's the most important part of high school, in my opinion. The teachers will tell you grades, but I will tell you friends. Yes, really. Because it's here that you make the connections that are going to last a lifetime. In 5 years, I'm not going to be able to tell you what a colloquium is. I'm not going to be able to tell you about equilibriums or what the atomic number of aluminum is. But I'm going to be able to have people who are going to be able to help me out when I'm in need. And that's something that's really valuable.
I have a lot of time in my hands this year, like senior year for some reason. I have nothing to do. So I probably help them out. I've been doing that recently. So if you have a problem, just come to me. I'll help, honestly.
How well do you think Brockton High School, and if you're from any other school, how well do you think the school's been helping with students like that who are struggling academically? And do you have anything to say?
Not at all. We need encouragement. As adolescents, we need to know that that the adults care about our futures, that they have hopes in us. But no one does that anymore.
We are so happy with the turnout for tonight's event, and we really hope that the youth learn a lot from the workshops and the various speakers we have, and we look forward to next year.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. How are you? Everybody have a good summit today? Some good sessions? All right. All right. I'm not going to give a big long speech. I primarily came by to say hello to everyone, but I do want you to know how important you are to the city and to the future of the city. Myself, I won't put the superintendent exactly in my category, but you know, we're the present leadership of the city, very soon to be the past leadership of the city, but you guys are the future. You're the future. And you are going to determine what this city looks like 10 years from now. And I think this city has a chance to be a premier, leading 21st century city in a lot of ways. We're poised for success, but it's what you guys decide to do. You know, it's taking advantage of the opportunities. We're a city of opportunity. All my children went to Brockton High School. Brockton High School is a place of opportunity. It's up to you what you do with the opportunities that are put in front of you while you're here.
Having been in the Brockton Public Schools, there are students that have come to us along the way and talked about programs like Brockton After Dark, making sure that there were programs for you in the summer. That came from the voice of students wanting more for our community. The pool down back, the Manning Pool, that came from a collaboration and families and students that wanted to see more recreational facilities and again, places for our young people to go in the summer.
Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? I hope you got a lot out of the workshops that you all went through. It was nice to see some of the topics listed as I went through the program. A lot of things that are really important to me were discussed, and to you guys, I hope. Like the superintendent said and Ms. Mello said, I am a 1998 graduate of this school. I actually worked in the Access Center right there for 2 years before I started teaching in Boston. But I grew up here. I love being from Brockton. When you're here, you're a Brocktonian, right? And then you go out into the world and you're still a Brocktonian, but you're still where you're from too. So that's something that unites us. And it makes us strong as a city, okay? And it makes us strong as a school. So I'm hoping that you guys really today saw some things in these workshops that will empower you to become a leader in the city. It doesn't take much to do something for somebody else that's kind, right? A smile, a hello, that can make a big difference. That's leadership. You might have a friend that's going down the wrong path. But you could be that person that says, hey, come join the track team with me. Come do the musical with me. That's right, you could go hang out with Alex at the track club. You could be that positive influence and not that person, right? You don't want to be that person that when you and your friends look back on high school and say, what happened to that guy? What happened to that girl? Where did they go wrong? They made a bad choice somewhere along the way. Maybe they got in a car with somebody that they knew they shouldn't get in with. I know somebody in the school that just happened to recently. Somebody who's very promising, has a very promising future. Good guy, but made a bad choice. So, what I would like you guys to leave with today is the idea that your future is up to you.
Before I let Mrs. Mello come back, I also want you to please join me in a round of applause for Mrs. Ulisi, who also...
That gives you the message. The decisions you're making today are going to determine how the rest of your life turns out. You may not see it today. I'm in my 60s now. I recall decisions that friends of mine made when they were in high school, and I watched how it determined how their lives turned out, positive and negative. So you have those choices to make, and we want to help you be successful in whatever it is that you decide is what success means to you personally. But we want you to come back, be engaged in this city, be committed to the city, be part of this city, and help lead this city in the future, okay? And that's why I'm so glad you're all here today. Thank you.
Another One North Main in the books. Thanks for watching, folks. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we enjoyed covering these fantastic events. As always, if you want to learn more about Brockton Community Access, please visit our website at bcatv.org. You can also check out our YouTube page, youtube.com/The Brockton Channels, all one word. For executive producer Mark Linney and producer Aaron Tebow, I'm Jay Miller. See you around town.
Did she make the shirts or did you?
We made them together.